Have you ever looked up at the moon and wondered what would happen if it simply wasn't there? Not exploded, not pushed away, just gone. No warning, no impact, no trace. It sounds like the beginning of a science fiction movie, but what if it actually happened? Would Earth survive? Would our oceans collapse? Would the planet fall out of orbit? Or would life continue, almost as if nothing had changed? The answer is far more surprising than most people realize, because the moon is much more than a bright object in the night sky. For over 4 billion years, it has quietly shaped our planet in ways we rarely think about. It influences our oceans. It helps stabilize Earth's rotation. It guides countless species through the rhythms of night. And without it, our world would slowly become a very different place. Imagine stepping outside tonight. The stars are exactly where they should be. The air feels the same. The city is quiet. But something immediately feels wrong. You look up, and the moon is gone. At first, people assume it's a strange illusion. Maybe clouds are hiding it. Maybe it's a rare astronomical event. Social media fills with confused photos from every continent. Within minutes, observatories around the world begin checking their instruments. Telescopes point toward the empty sky. Satellites confirm the impossible. The moon hasn't moved. It hasn't dimmed. It hasn't broken apart. It simply no longer exists. For the first few moments, the world waits for disaster. Surely something this impossible must trigger earthquakes, massive storms, or global chaos. But none of that happens. The Earth keeps spinning. Gravity still holds us firmly to the ground. The sun rises exactly on schedule. For a brief moment, it almost feels like nothing has changed. But that's the illusion, because the real consequences don't arrive all at once. They begin quietly, almost invisibly. And over the next few hours, the Earth starts revealing just how much it depended on a companion we always assumed would be there forever. The first strange reports don't come from astronauts or governments. They come from ordinary people. Fishermen notice the shoreline looks different. Harbor workers pause as the water behaves in unfamiliar ways. Coastal researchers begin comparing measurements from the day before. Something has changed. The tides are still there, but they're weaker, much weaker than expected. That's because the moon isn't the only object pulling on Earth's oceans. The sun creates tides too, but they're only a fraction as strong. Without the moon, the familiar rise and fall of the sea would immediately become less dramatic. For most people, it wouldn't seem like a disaster, at least not yet. But the ocean is only the first system to reveal the truth. As night falls again, another change becomes impossible to ignore: the darkness. A full moon reflects enough sunlight to brighten forests, mountains, deserts, and coastlines across the planet. Without it, many places become dramatically darker than anything most people alive have ever experienced. For us, that's unsettling. For wildlife, it's something far more serious. Countless species have evolved around the lunar cycle. Sea turtles use the brightness of the horizon to navigate. Many corals synchronize their spawning with the phases of the moon. Predators hunt under moonlight. Prey hides from it. For millions of animals, the moon isn't just part of the scenery, it's part of their biological clock. Remove that clock, and nature doesn't suddenly collapse, but it begins to lose its rhythm. And while life on Earth struggles to adapt, another change is already beginning, one that humanity won't notice today, or even next year, because the moon has been doing something even more important than lighting our nights. For billions of years, it has been quietly helping keep our entire planet stable. The moon does far more than create tides. It also acts like a giant stabilizer for our planet. Right now, Earth's axis is tilted by about 23.5 degrees. That tilt is the reason we have seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter. But that angle isn't permanently locked in place. The moon's gravity helps keep it remarkably stable over long periods of time. If the moon suddenly disappeared, nothing dramatic would happen overnight. Next year would probably look much like this one. Even centuries from now, most people might never notice a difference. But over thousands and millions of years, Earth could begin to wobble far more than it does today. That wobble could slowly reshape the climate. Some regions might experience much harsher seasons. Others could become far more unpredictable. Scientists believe the moon has played a crucial role in keeping Earth's environment relatively stable for billions of years. In other words, our planet didn't just get lucky, it had help. And the moon wasn't only shaping the Earth, it was shaping us. Long before satellites, before telescopes, before cities, humans looked up at the same glowing object. It became our first calendar. It guided travelers across oceans. It inspired myths, religions, poetry, music, and science itself. Every culture gave it a different name, but everyone shared the same moon. It's one of the very few things that every human who has ever lived has seen. Now imagine a child born after its disappearance. They would learn about the moon the way we learn about extinct animals, through photographs, ancient stories, museum exhibits, videos recorded by generations long gone. To them, a bright full moon hanging over the horizon wouldn't be a memory. It would be something they could never experience for themselves. And maybe that's the strangest consequence of all. Not what the Earth loses, but what humanity loses. Because sometimes the greatest changes aren't measured by physics alone. They're measured by what disappears from our everyday lives. Here's the remarkable part. If the moon disappeared tonight, humanity would survive. Our cities would still stand. Airplanes would still fly. The sun would still rise tomorrow morning. Life would go on. At least at first, but the world would never quite be the same again. The oceans would settle into a new rhythm. Countless species would be forced to adapt. And over immense stretches of time, our planet could become far less stable than the one we know today. The moon has always been there, so constant, so familiar, that it's easy to forget how extraordinary it really is. It's been watching over Earth for more than 4 billion years. Long before the first trees, long before the dinosaurs, long before the first human ever looked into the night sky, every civilization in history has shared the same moon. It lit the paths of travelers. It inspired artists and poets. It became the foundation of calendars, myths, and scientific discovery. It was the destination of humanity's greatest journey beyond Earth. And yet, most nights, we barely notice it. Maybe that's the lesson hidden in this thought experiment. The universe doesn't always change our lives with explosions or spectacular disasters. Sometimes, the most profound changes begin with a quiet absence, one familiar thing, simply no longer being there. So tonight, if the sky is clear, take one moment to look up, because that silent companion has been shaping your world every single day of your life, whether you realized it or not. But the moon is only one example of how gravity quietly shapes our universe. There are places where gravity becomes so powerful that it bends light, slows time, and completely changes the rules of reality. What would happen if you spent just 1 hour near a black hole, only to discover that years had passed on Earth? That journey begins in our next episode. Until then, keep looking up, because the universe is always stranger than we imagine.